Hi, it's Chastia. It's 318. It's 318. 318 is, because 3 plus 8 is 11. So 318 is a 111. And if you have been following me, or just if you call them angel numbers, things like that, it's really bigger than angel numbers. And so 111, when you see 516, 381, 111, then you're on plan. 129, 921. When you see those numbers, when you ring those numbers at the grocery store, when you look at the time over and over again, and it's 111 or 651, then you're on plan. And angel, I wanted to come on. I've got one on right now, and I might repost this to YouTube, because I've been a warrior for the new earth, and I've been a guardian, and I've been commander even on Starfleet from quantum consciousness and etheric consciousness, because of I'm an AB negative bloodline, and I was hidden here for this, and am ancient, connected into a group of us that are, I think most of y'all call us the sun children. But the original human DNA, not altered, the original human DNA working throughout the human race is what creates the land, is what creates the ocean, is what creates your sky, the clouds. The human DNA and the process of filtering collective energy through your field in the layers that you hold connections. When we go through times like this, where there's a wide open precession of the equinoxes, which is what we just went through to realign the whole system to work for all of us. Now, we didn't know any of this. For all of us that were the ones that had to get activated in 2017 and start remembering how we're connected with everything and being guided with our ancestors, being guided because we had connections to the ancients, we had connections to the pyramids. I know in the beginning, in 2018, whenever we activated, it was Tesla himself and Einstein that were, those consciousnesses were communicating with me and teaching me how to do things. Now, this happens way more in your human form than you realize. This is why some of us get these great ideas. Some of us can hold bigger maps of thinking. But it's because we're connected into ones that you'd say are on the other side, that are sending us messages, and you, the human, are picking up all the different messages and figuring out how you get them. How are you getting the messages from your ancestors? How are you getting your ancestors from the messages from their shadow? How are you getting messages from the collective? How are you receiving information from the Ascended Collective? Because there's the Ascended Collective down here on the ground has a way better Akashic library for right now than what you'd consider your ancient ancestors. Because for the past 7 years, those of us who walk this, who know what time it is, who understand that there's a terraforming going on, those of us who understand that energy is never gone, energy never leaves. I want you to really, really, really close your eyes right now. If you're on here listening to me, the 6 that are on here, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to really think about that. Energy from events doesn't leave. Now, I want you to think about every single traumatic event that ever happened over your life. Do you know the land remembers it? Do you know your house remembers it? Do you know that the auditorium remembers it? That energy, whatever sequence is made from any event, I'm good, bad, this ain't no good or bad. We're talking about energy. Every single traumatic event that has ever happened on earth with humans. Now close your eyes and think about that. Every single one, whether it's one being, one person, or it's a bunch all at once, that energy is going to stay in the simulation, in the grid, on that corner, in that house, on those roads, in that state, until what? Now, this is where your journey comes in. And whenever we're over here talking about you need to get your vibration up and everyone's thinking that that's just some woo ha ha. No. You get your vibration up so you don't happen along in a pure frequency form on that corner, on that day, because your bloodline and the connections that you have on 5 dimensions all over the world are gonna work back together to get you right there, because it's what happened last time. And energy never leaves. Now, I don't, man, it could happen in another state even. It could be an instance. Now, these are even just little encounters that you have, good and bad. But I'm using the trauma because the loosh, the crying, the pain, the screaming, the fear, stays in the simulation. It doesn't leave. The more 0 point you get as you're mastering these bloodlines that are all in a simulation right now, getting freaking x-rayed and deep fried, it's gonna come out of you. That event is gonna happen. It's either gonna happen to you or it's gonna happen to somebody else. Or you're going to show up in the event, and then that's when you realize that you've got superpowers. For all of us who have abilities in the physical, you don't know that you have it until you have to use it. And the reason that your abilities kick online is what I've just been talking about. You get your energy gets you've been doing clearings, you've been calling in to clear your bloodlines, you've been calling in for your ancestral to heal, you've been working on being judgment free. You're in a different frequency. then the simulated system that's built off the opposite of that: trauma, fear, pain, disconnected. Over here, you're connected. Over here, you're in the process of getting connected. But this is why, but you're in training. Wonder Woman doesn't know that she can move the house off of her until it falls on her. It's not something you practice. You don't know that you're connected to an ancient mummy and a bloodline of an ancient mummy until you realize you've got to get out of that pyramid. You don't, in the true natural spirit of things, it comes when you need it. You can't study it. Lights just went out. You can't study it. And I think with the lights going out right here, what I want to say is I want to talk about now two things. The transits, because we have Mars at 0 point right now going into Scorpio. This is Scorpio right behind me. This is my brand. This is on coCHEE32.com. coCHEE32.com. And we have blankets. This is Libra that I'm wearing. We've mastered the physics of the wheel. And we know everything has to go through the wheel. And Mars just entered this. This is what Mars is. Mars is at 0 point. Now, this is Scorpio 2. This is Scorpio 2. Scorpio 1, where Mars is right now, is the baby blue and white version of this. If this was all baby blue, real light blue and white, same whirlwind. You're along for the ride now, baby cakes. And this is the message to the world. Because I've been getting stopped from coming over here and giving messages a lot because I'm upgrading, I'm changing, I have a brand that can help you. That's what this stuff is. This is what we're doing. This is how we've learned how to utilize every color and sound and high frequency energy to see the darkness, not create more darkness. What's happening on this planet right now, it's very easy. I don't care what situation it is. I don't care what religion it is. I don't care what country you live in. I don't care what skin you have on. I don't care what your beliefs are. The world around you is a whole bunch of unconscious beings creating. This is what happens whenever you get an activated human race blood. Because it was all cleared and turned back on. With beings that aren't trained in order to build your own timeline, in order to clear your own energy, in order to create a consciously create Earth is being done for us. And all that's happening right now in year 8, because 2017, the ancients activated, and took us 2 years to figure out why we were here and what was going on. But whenever we realized it was a 1,000,000-year count, we went to work right on time. 2020 came around, boom shakalaka. We's ready for them. We were. In fact, what's walking out right now in 2025 has been a 13-year mission. 13 years ago, the ancients that activated and started a new conscious collective mindset. We changed Giza. Your pituitary setting's changing. It's changing to a higher frequency. Your body is an instrument, and the sounds that the cosmos are putting off are more like 50-50 right now. Half our stuff and half what AI is delivering you on a giant screen or whatever it is. So this is a 5-year. It's an odd year. All the spirit cooking that happens down here, which every single religion is somehow involved in, only because they keep continuing to do their past traditions. So they're building up the same energy source that no longer is going to be working for them because it's been claimed by the ancients. So you can't go beg to a goddess. You can't go kneel to a deity. You can't do a false prophet anymore because the energy's here for you now. Now, there's pieces of that and things that have played out that we all know that's happened yesterday. But I just want everyone to know, 2021, we were in Arizona making channels because we knew that this was happening. The storms that took off over Texas last night were lining up 2012, 2015 to see the capability of us working together in a collective with all of us having different energy and being able to be moved into place to counteract the energy so that we learn. Because if you get to that same corner and it's written that's whenever you're supposed to go bye-bye, and you've been doing all the healing and stuff, there ain't no way in FYG that it's going to, and there ain't no way in FYP that it's going to happen. It can't. I mean, that car might get right around your energy field and flip on its side, and all you did was stand there. But it's not because of anything in that moment, if that's the scenario that you did and you thought about and you had planned for. No, all you've been doing is connecting your etheric body, realizing that we're balancing this whole thing together. What kind of world do you want to live in? How are you treating the people around you? Eventually, you know that that's going to mirror back to you. In the beginning, you're giving out good energy. You don't realize how deep you were. Guess what? None of us had any idea how deep we were. And if I really sat here for 5 hours and explained it to you, you still wouldn't believe me. Because the whole realm was at the bottom of a Milky Way channel that shouldn't, and it was just going ding 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 ding. I don't care what power you think is controlling you. I don't care if it's the government. I don't care what propaganda. I don't care if you think your husband's controlling you. Whoever you think or whatever pharmacy, all this crap, stop enforcing it. You can't be yelling about pharmaceuticals and then turn around and take your 6 prescriptions for the day. You got to live it to receive it. Now, the thing is, the first few years, whenever you're coming out of this, you're just trying to survive. And there's no other way because you're turning on all your abilities and your connectivity. And the more that you put that, well, and Davey, that's what I say. You got to stop saying that. Not many understand, Chestia. That's where you got to be like, they're okay. And whenever you say consciousness, whenever I give them an excuse, stop giving them an excuse. You realize that if we all stopped saying that wouldn't even be a timeline that would exist that would allow them to stay? Yeah, thank you, Teresa. Give me some hearts. I've got 14 on here. If you happen upon me right now at this time, you know, then literally we're in this together. I'm been helping lead these etherics. Those who know me know how powerful we are together, because all I do is help mirror, and what I do is help turn on your abilities. You know why? I know how to use the washing machine. You know what the washing machine is? the astronomy and the entire fucking cosmic cosmos for 3 trillion light years away. And we ain't even kidding. You're going through a process. I don't care, the ones who think everything's going to end tomorrow. In a way, they're correct in a way, because energetically it's like that balancing is happening right now, and your energy is being lifted out of you, but you ain't going to leave. It's just everything that was attached to that old program is being deleted from you, because you have to now be it. You can't just get all dressed up and go to church and freaking put on a nice hat and put on some fake makeup and put some triangles and some stars around your neck with some G's and some M's. And yes, we're gonna allow it to happen, because you're sending out a message to everybody in an auditorium, but we've already taken over the entire auditorium set and network all over the world. How the hell do you think that we've been able to pull it off this far? Those of us who have ancient connections and those of us who do macro alchemy, we're awake. We're here. You might not know every single one of us, because typically we're not going to come over here and tell you. I was the mouthpiece of this whole thing, because you can't build a mass conception. You can't recreate reality with a whole bunch of people by yourself. You have to give the knowledge, let them see, give a framework. See, because all we're really doing is aligning you. Whatever comes out, that's you. It's not tuned to any specific religion. It's tuned to different frequencies. Whatever's in your codes, whatever's in your story, whenever you tune up to the astronomy, you're going to get all the answers. That's not what we do. We're here to energetically guide you and give you helping what energy we're in, so that you know what could pop off. And then also, right now, what's happening all over the world, because Mars is at 0 point Scorpio, and we just came out of Izar. Mars just came out of Izar, and Libra's all in. Libra's turned on. You've never had Libra processing, not unless you're paying for it. You've never experienced Libra's full processing on this planet in your body, unless you're paying for it. And that's even us that even did it. Like, we're just now getting our things from all the clearings that we're getting bought and sold on the market. And what Izar is now, this is, if y'all have any channels, and none of this stops the suffering to come. Well, yes, it does. There's going to be some that need to leave anyway. The ones who need to suffer will suffer. And a whole bunch need to suffer. In the human race, in a human body, it's like you don't learn nothing until you're suffering. You don't change nothing until you're suffering. It's a normal human thing. Kind of took me off. Can't remember what I was talking about. Izar. You gotta stop thinking about it as them and they. You gotta and this is what I'm gonna be on. This is what we're gonna be teaching about. And I'm not even telling you you're doing anything wrong, okay? Because these are all things that we all went through mentally and had and year after year getting our butt kicked, realizing that it wasn't helping us in any way, in order to deliver the information the way we were delivering it. It's not that the emperor, like, these are, but that we all have to learn, because we're manifesting it. But the best way, and because the stars are lining up the energies, and whenever you know your energetic and how your energies work, then the rest is a set and a stage that everyone else is on. You just, it's, as long as you know how your characters move in it, then you're also using it to create year after year. Because there ain't no way in some of these settings. I mean, I'm an ascended master. And a descended master. I have 6 energies in Libra in the 7th house. I channeled and brought in these future codes, future body codes, and this is basically the psychology in the future templates with all the DNA mix that was hybridized in this and that. I brought it in. It still took me 3 years of walking through Izar, all with the sun going all the way around, in order to break those, because Izar's alpha draconic. Do you know everybody down here has lizard energy? There ain't nobody down here that doesn't have reptile energy. It's why you have a third eye. It's why we have a network, like literally, you know, in the high. Why? How did we get involved with the draconic? Well, this is why the human body didn't have a connectivity for us all to be able to do telepathy. We didn't have it. The human body had to be produced, and so it's like in this. Whenever we talk about long evolutions of time, Ophiuchus hands the human race over to Orion for 1 million years. Oh, it's a training. And it's an upgrade. What happened down here is that everyone forgot all that, and it dropped, and everybody was drilling. It was getting lower and lower and lower. It was all these ancient intention and alchemy that was happening, and then had gotten to the point of propaganda, and then had gotten to the point of this, to you know, and then the hybridization, and then the AI. But really, whenever you get down to AI layer, you're at the very bottom. So with alpha, we're all connected that way. We all have that, you know, and there are like 5 different degrees, 5 different rays that hold it in the wheel, because it's all part of your processing. If you have just true alpha drac energy, not a node, because Nodus 1 and Nodus 2, that's like you've been incarnating so many times in order to finish this, because you know why the drags mixed with the da-da-da-da-da. Now at the end of days, you're called a processional being. At the end of days, then you're called an incarnate. And you come in every 12,000, 14,000 years in order to connect and upgrade everybody. You have a bloodline and a family that you know exists down here that you've never ever met before. Then all of a sudden you're called to earth, and you're like full freaking activation. And you're like, why are we all so wide awake down here, and where is my family? Then we start sending out connections, trying to find each other, and we're solely focused on doing that. And then we look around, and the world's changing. The sun's changing, the moon's changing, Venus is changing, alignments are happening. That's how it happens. If you have just the pure alpha drac Rajal, if you have around 16 degrees of Gemini, and then you have 5 to 9 degrees Virgo, well, that's just the root system that was holding the dome, and to those alpha drac connections. And Rajal goes way out down here, and Virgo goes way down, because Virgo is all the energy in the earth. It's not earth. Taurus is earth. Virgo is all the quantum energy grids. Virgo is all the back doors. Virgo is all the coding written in the grids. Virgo is all the satellite. Virgo is all the people in the grids making a new frequency. That's next level. At first, you're just trying to figure out, oh my God, I got an arm over here. Boom, you stick your arm out. Virgo also is where all the energy bodies are bound. Virgo is where the etheric bodies of the entire collective stack on each other to form Sophia. Well, guess what? Sophia grew an Isis head, defeated another Isis, and then became a giant galactic bird that stepped on Mars and balanced two freaking realms. That's what time we're on. And then it's just been the process of getting it down here and waiting. Knowing that month by month, two little steps lined up. Okay, good. We'll be connected next year. But you just course corrected an entire human. Do you know how long it takes to build a collective timeline? A collective timeline, it takes a long time because you have to have experiences of all the different levels to change the entire timeline. Last 7 years, guess what the collective did? Changed all the timelines. We completed every single one. That's why you're going to have a choice. If we wouldn't have come in and done what we've done and cleaned up what we've done and created what we've done and healed it, and all this wasn't laid here, even by our founding fathers, because we're the daughters, we know what dads and sons do. We're the ones that you don't know about because of the dads and the sons. Well, we're here to tell you all about it. Thing is, right now, with Mars at 0 point, that's why I'm on. If you're on here right now, just realize with Mars going into Scorpio 1, Izar, so you got those roots down here. Well, Izar is in Libra. And Izar is Alpha Draconic and Arcturian. It's Excalibur's sword. It's an Alpha. And then we even found it in Antarctica. It's starting to melt and all that stuff. But there's a wheel on Antarctica that was blocking out Libra energy to this realm. So no balance. Not to mention that now we know that whenever, and this is why you got missing days in October. Now we know that whenever, as a collective, we come through Libra, which is where the sun just entered, that you're going through a body upgrade, but it's really happening inside you. It's like whenever you come out of Libra, you're on a new frequency to then go complete the wheel for the year, and whatever planet is coming off of it. Now this was Mars, so this was a big reset, because that is Tsar, which was originally made by the Tsar of Russia, the Four Princesses' dad. So this is literally the mind net that was connecting all the people that were, because Tsar's different than king, because they're older. And no matter if it's recognized that that's who they are, they hold connections to everybody on the ground that is connected into the existence of those bloodlines. So, if you will, the first neuronet was put on the Tsar of Russia. Is that starting to make sense to you about why things are happening the way they are down here? And then run by the KGB. Now, how do you make sure that you don't fall with that? You work the wheel. Izar has notches. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody. My grandfather used to own a gas station. I was always around gas stations. And I don't know if you've ever seen anybody before there was technology check the tank. Or maybe like check a water tank. And to see how much water's down in it. And you've got a stick and you put baby powder on it so that you can stick that long pole down into the well and see where it caps off. Okay? Izar. Measurement too. A measurement stick. A yardstick. Okay? Now that yardstick and Izar is connected into timeline sets, stories, like whole entire stories and sets of lessons and what played out in that frequency before. And it's all, and they're set at on the alpha direct, because it's been down here forever. So, I mean, or a million years, and then even connected into the dragons and stuff. I mean, we're talking 72 million years old, 72 billion years old in another realm. All carries what you'd call a silicone connectivity. And so whenever you're coming out of Arcturus and Spica, and that's why you get to Spica, and you basically, this is where you rebirth, because your soul is complete. Your soul's on the right mission. Your data is correct. What needs to change in you and your speech pattern even, and how you deliver whatever, in order to make that a reality, because it will. You'll just tune into a string quartet that's bound over in Capricorn, and then you get through, and then how high that bar is set is gonna be what you're gonna experience in Scorpio and Sagittarius. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is, and we're gonna keep talking about this, because we're gonna start going month by month. This is what I'm doing over here. Is why I haven't been on very much, because we're trying to figure out how to get this to the most people and we're going to start walking through these energies as the sun goes through it. So if your first time that you realize this is going to be the first time that you're consciously going through Scorpio and connecting to Sagittarius. No matter what level you're at. So you could be like even be able to change things, morph things, do things in the physical. But see, now you're gonna tune your energy into the wheel with the rest of the collective. So your energetics are going to go with everyone else's, and then it's going to collectively then show you the experience on what you need to do to tinker with it just a little bit. Or Scorpio is all about ancestral magic and tradition. Because why? Scorpio runs Taurus timelines. So whenever you enter Scorpio, like I said, this would be baby blue and white. And so right now we're at 0 point Mars. So Mars makes it real. So another thing, basically, we laid a red carpet as Mars went through Libra. We moved the energy through it and got it all working together again. So now the energy is going like this because we got rid of those blocks, but the sun is just now stepping in it. So we got a little preview. Now Mars is going to be going into Scorpio. So it's going to be tuning you possibly into those lower energetics, your field and your ether, because this is what we're starting to pick up. We just came out of a black moon, and no. It's all this different collective density that the collective, whenever the collective reached this frequency before and went into Scorpio, then those events are going to play out. But we've got a whole month because you're the sun. So right now we're tuning into those timelines, because energetically every single manipulation, good or bad, tradition, every single thing that a human energy has done as a collective in order to get to Earth, change a timeline on Earth, a destiny swap happened, something happened and you got taken out and weren't supposed, all that's in Scorpio. And it's mainly at the beginning degrees. It's in Scorpio 1. I describe it as 0 degrees Scorpio. It's the veil. So energetically, we're right there at the veil. What is everyone screaming? Rapture? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like whenever you start understanding the language I'm speaking and you start really tuning to it, then every single mass event that takes off, you can explain it by this. See, the sun's right now just entered 0 point Libra. This is Libra. This is on the way to the scale. This is on the other side of the scale. This is on the way to the scale. This is a whole lot more manageable, right? This is where we are right now. The sun is on this. That's baby blue and white. This is the other side of the scale. Okay? And this isn't on the internet, but we do have a hoodie. coCHEE32.com. And these work, y'all. I'm like, literally, you're the avatar walking around in the codes, breaking up the matrix. We've been testing them. This is also why I've been so quiet over here. I've been embodying the brand. I've been utilizing this stuff. And when you put if you put on the Scorpio coCHEE, we're calling them hoochies. The coCHEE hoodie. Number one, if you're any type of mystery person, you'd want to wear that one. Just right now, even like I'm about to order one. And I know somebody else has already. A couple of people have already ordered them. I haven't even gotten it yet. I've only had the Libra one, but it's gonna stir up energy. Because otherwise it just does this like a swamp. That's why it becomes Scorpio. That's why. But it was eagle. So at the beginning degrees of Scorpio is the veil, and then it's like if you have energy at 3 degrees Scorpio, I always say that's like having a chest. Your grandmother left you a chest in your etheric field of like all the information about all your family lineage. Now this is in the ethers, but even how your energy fields and how the body breaks these energy, and then it opens up, like because you're clearing inside out, and everything's has to clear from the outside in order to match up a straight projection, to have a complete mirrored projection. And you can refuse it too. Like, because once you realize that you're the alchemist, then you can be like, no, I'll wait another year. I don't like how it showed up. There's something else I need, it's coming in. It ain't that I don't love you. It ain't that I ain't ready for union. It's that I'm finally overthinking that I have to have you to complete it now. And this is about the feminine. And we're doing such big things right now that are changing so many things now that we got the hang of it. And I think actually the next year of you and me and you seeing more of having to do what I'm doing, and me getting more to the caliber that I know would make you proud in the physical, then I think we just both need another year before we can get right in front of each other. Now that's with every single thing you're manifesting. That's a new house, a new car. If you're manifesting a new car and you want a new car and you're like dead set on getting a new car, and then someone gives you a car, it's free. You're not going to have to pay for it. Is that the one you want? See? It's all little bitty choices. But right now, where Mars the way it is, it's like that's why the rapture's showing up. That's why these things and events are happening. Because as the frequency is, we are coming out of the wheel. There's a group of us that are coming out of the wheel. Now, this is even going to take us to more ancient time frames than even what I just stated. When the collective got to this point, this is what came out. because that's Mars going into Scorpio. So right now with Mars going into Scorpio, this is whenever you want to really, you do not judge the shadow. Every message is a good message depending on what you do with it. All information is good information. When in Scorpio, you're going to hear about the bad, what you consider bad stuff. My dad did this, or this did this, or you find out this did this, or I died doing this, or da 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 da. If you don't understand that you're just getting information, and you have to understand the power that you're holding, so you don't end up like the ones that you're going to watch fall as we rise. The difference between, and this is the difference between a witch and a high frequency being. Because I freaking know. People get these confused. And it's even confusing for us. Because, hold on, I think I left my drink in the other room. Let me go get it. There's 17 on. Just give me 5 seconds. I got to walk across Capricorn. Jump over Capricorn. First of all, what was considered a witch, and what a lot of beings who even say that they are witches right now, which I wouldn't, this is why we need to talk about it, just as a collective. That's just that your feminines turn on and you're connected to the planet and you're connected to the grids. You see the grids, you can maneuver. It's a naturalist, a lot of them. They're connected in that's Capricorn. It's Lyra too. And it's a part of the process that everyone's having to do right now. And it's also how we were able to save the human race from the vaccines. It's a new blood frequency that's flushing through you, but it happens in just like I'm talking about Izar, then this is the other little piece, in the bloodline in Capricorn. But all that's happening is the earth energies, the earth elements, you're able to process through your field because you know that your DNA was connected to the making of it before. And if you don't if you aren't, then you don't know that. But just because you don't know that doesn't mean that there aren't other groups down here that do. And now since that process has been turned back on, you're all in it. Everybody's going through a washing machine, not Washington. You're coming out of the washing machine. The stars are tuned to pull you out. You've been living the programs your whole life. Eventually you have to get out of school. You got to realize you've already paid for those lessons. You got to, and every single one of these star rays has a different energy that you've been bringing in the whole time. That's why coCHEE32.com, for $22, we're doing these for y'all. $22, you get a color report from me, and even the ones that aren't rays, I'm telling you 3 or 4 words of what those mean to master your chart. So that you know what programs you've been living. Can I type on here? Oh, Teresa, can you know the website, right? coCHEE32.com. I don't know how they type. Thank you, Dawn. I mean, it's $22. And they're my overall readings, and I don't even do them all the time, are $300. So this is $22, and it gives you your when I pull it up, it basically automatically aligns and expands your etheric body. Just you putting the consciousness in. For some of you, this is all you need. It's just to see what your energies are. Is anybody, Dawn, can you type coCHEE32.com? coCHEE32.com. Thank you. coCHEE32.com. And if you go to Align and Find, we also have this in a coloring book where you learn how to do it yourself so you can do other people's charts and help them. Like, this is not hard. There's 32 star rays that go around the wheel, and this also tells you if you're really serious being, if you're really a Pleiadian, if you're really, like, it's going to tell you what stars you are connected into, and it's going to give you just a little bit of description, because what planet's on, it's a different energy too. And then as you start learning the brand, each one has a lesson. And whenever you realize that that's what the energy is, then you can consciously make a decision. Everybody that has Gemini energy always loves bad boys and bad girls. Let me give you an example. You got Gemini energy, you are attracted to the bad boys, or you boys are attracted to the girls who are bad, but it's because we're meeting our brothers and sisters in the underworld, basically. It's like how we're finding each other. We know how trapped they are, which is why we feel like we need to save them. But then whenever you realize that the only way to not attract it is to get out of that energy, then you stop accepting what's showing up. And then you realize, oh my God, especially with the Gemini energy, the more that I hold off and are like, no, I want first prize. You're not going to make me second just because I don't look and talk and say what you want me to. Then if I can hold off and I can get to first prize, then I know that every single one of my brothers and sisters then is going to be able to accept first prize, because I pushed through it and created a new program in Gemini to make it happen. All of us down here, there's only 32 programs. Everybody thinks that you're going through the independent stuff. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not. It will blow your mind. We have socials that we do, that's what we're going to start, because now that the kind of war, we're out of that processing, it took 8 years. We're going to be able to bring you some more. We're going to be able to show you what we saw and how we saw it. It's going to be right on time when it comes out too, because energetically, as soon as it comes out and it happens, it's going to be aligned from when we created it before, and then everyone's going to go whoop, because we've already laid these energy lines. So now whenever they're coming back around and they hit the same time, we're sitting there waiting for things to happen, because we've been consciously laying out timelines for the past 3 years. Hadn't even been 8 for that. So the more that you're consciously creating with the cosmos, the quicker it comes. And it's not just changing you. You changing is changing everything else and taking it to a new vibratory instead of even speaking out and telling your truth. Nobody was doing that in 2018. Just that. Nobody was talking about their abuse. Nobody could. The trauma was too much. 2018 as a collective, we were having to clean stuff like entire planetary energy, all the sex energy. We were having to clean the Trail of Tears. We were having, we've already cleaned all that. And then we walked it because we cleaned it as a collective. So all of us together that activated in 2017, 2018, that cleaned and were participated in all the meditations and all the healings and read all the books, because as a collective we were working as a unit in a Syrian mindset, going, oh my God, what the hell is happening? We got to remember something really quick. We're in a tailspin. But it's all made to do it. It's a failsafe. Now the sun is at 0 point Libra right now. And so the sun is in Alpha Draconic Nodus 1. So Mars just came off Izar that took us outside of the, because the snake didn't eat its tail. We broke the wheel. So you got to remember, there's one collective that is completely disconnecting from the wheel and is utilizing the harvesting, the human energy, to create good things for the collective, not create bad things. We took over the harvest. We just need everyone to wake up to start wielding the energy. Because it's still there. And whenever you're in a higher current connected to a lower current, because the higher that you go, the lower that you are, well, then whoever holds the highest and lowest bar, baby, holds the seam. And that's what changed for the very first time in human history. But it linked into something. It finally reached the point where it linked in. So this is whenever everyone's talking about New Earth, the collective timelines, what you've been building, what you know you're here for in New Earth, all of that, whatever you've been putting up in your wishes, making your intentions, setting your vibratory on, it's a playground for all of that to happen. However, you still are pulling your way out of the lower program, or pulling whatever you're creating through it, because it's got to go through the wheel too. So this is like even with the brand, and all these little things that have happened over here over and over and over and over for us to get House of coCHEE and coCHEE 32 to you, which is crazy when y'all know everything that has happened. Those were all Izar Alpha Draconic things, because as they happened, we had to come up with something. Well, and when we came up with something, then we created something new. Well, and I know that you might have got a diagnosis that you were schizophrenic, but if I looked at your chart, I could probably tell you exactly what's going on. So I've been called that, and I'm not. It's nothing bad or good about it. My point is, we all hear and see things. The diagnosis is something different. But if I look at someone's chart that has what you just, I can explain to you where you stopped in the wheel and where they're coming from. And I also have to know, see, because we're dealing with degrees. So I'm not, well, and this is a Libra gang over here, big time. My whole crew this past 8 years in the bloodline has all been a conglomeration of Libra, and bringing back in that 11 days. Dawn's a doctor. She's on the coCHEE 32 team, and then I also actually another girl that's working with us to build this and get it going, and that has all the knowledge behind it, is a psychologist. So it's like, and we're merging these tools into those spaces now, a little at a time. Because it is what it is. It's even why the pills, And the logos are the colors that they give you for them, and even why the pills are called what they're called that they're giving you for it. It's all Babylonian tuning. To block the process of the wheel. Once you realize that there ain't nothing wrong with you, you just have, like there was a period of time in 2018 that when this happened, because I had a shock activation and then everything was happening and I was just experiencing it way out as the energies were converging. And there was over a year of time that it felt like I had 3 beings fighting for my body. It was because it was 3 very specific energetics. It wasn't just an energy. It wasn't just a channel. It was a whole like groups of personalities, of energies that had all zeroed in on me for that period. And it's like I had, and that's also the 3-headed dragon. Because these are etheric bodies that exist. So it's also the 3-headed dragon. But see, like if you're in Medusa energy, then you got to even get Medusa to the 3-headed dragon. Once you get to the 3-headed dragon, and then in the super soldier program, this is because there's unions of 2, and then there's trinity codes, because they used to just bind us to 1. Then they started binding 3 together to produce cells. And that matches up with that too. So then you end up having as you're walking through it, you'll have 2 opposing forces. You'll be in a threesome of some kind where this one wants to go this direction and this one wants to go this direction, and you're having to deal with both of them, and you're being forced to make a decision, and you know that no decision is a better decision. And so you just don't make the decision. Well, you know why? Because you're the middle head. And you're holding the body. So then there becomes a point whenever you're done, you're just done. I mean, and you'll go round and round with this like I did. And then you'll just be done. And then you're just like, I'm taking over. But then this is where you got to be careful with the witchy thing, because what you don't want to do is tell them what to do. What you don't want to do is assign the energy for somebody else. What you don't want to inherently do is override somebody else's free will, because your writing skills are stronger than theirs. And that is the hard part. Even if it's just you in your bedroom manifesting the love of your life, and you think that he's yada yada, and you write it down, and then you inherently take over that person's free will, because you don't realize that you're a prairie dog with a whole bunch of skills, because that's what happened to me. Then you end up playing it out. Now you're going to learn a lot. You're going to get introduced a lot. There might even be a reason that you did it. There always is a reason that you do it, because it might elevate you depending on who. But you'll get to a point where because then whenever you have those abilities, especially when it's for your love life or something like that, you want to make sure that they really like you, that it isn't magic, because all of us are sick of the magic. Like, we've had handlers and fake relationships around us our whole life. If we got to take you over and walk you to our house, we don't want you. And in their world, they're used to that. In their weird cuckold program, they're good little boys if they do what they're told when they're a good flying monkey. And they want the feminine to tell them what's going to happen. They're used to the feminine telling it, okay, here's what's going to happen next. They're going to make the move. Then you're going to make the move. Then here's what's going to happen. Go do it. So then whenever you free them and you just look at them, they're just staring back at you. Like, are you coming? They just stand there. Are you coming? Just stand there? No, you need to go be a flying monkey some longer? Okay. Well, then go find you a handler, because you can find one. They'll produce you one really quick. You can go be a flying monkey for a while. But I'm not going to tell you what to do, man. We're beyond that. That's what I just said. Alpha 0 degrees, Alpha Draconic Nodus 1 from a template set, from an overall Knights Templar. We don't need you. We were the ones that y'all had pinned down in the Kaaba. We's the one that you had pinned down in the thing. Like, we're all the way back here. We've already slapped you in the face, slapped your moon upside down, freaking ripped a hole in the time seam, freaking caused havoc all to hell. Nobody wants to show up and act like that they know what's going on. Everybody wants to act like we're a secret. The entire governments that made us and paid for us still think that they're controlling us. Pfft. Okay. Because out here where we're writing timelines, none of that crap exists. In fact, we've been undoing 9/11. We know exactly why they did it, and it ain't the reason most people think. It's more like they affected the Monopoly board. It's more like they went and freaking built a bridge over Boardwalk. It's like every time everybody got to Boardwalk and stepped across Boardwalk, they entered another realm. Because they built a bridge over Boardwalk. You weren't getting the same energy walking down the game anymore. It become double-decker. And all of our American energy went to dub AI. Oh, I'm done with that. Are you? So, and the whole time Venus right now, she's in number 14, which is a trip in and of its whole freaking self. I mean, all three of these, but with the sun going into Alpha Draconic Nodus 1, that's a node set. So you know whenever they talk about building temples, well, let me explain. When they build a temple and then they do a sacrifice, and this is also why on oh my God, I almost I was about to say Bama, but I almost called it MAGA. In Bama, we went through the black cow, blew through the monkey, and came out a brand new disco bunny. Okay, well, black cow, red heifers, blood magic. It is what it is. It's blood magic. And then they get all the countries to back the ba 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 ba, and in the old energies, the money counted because it was how much weight it could hold, because it's how much people they could convince into whatever the F balls in order to harness an energetic at a specific place to lay a temple set. Now, what that means is whenever you come through Libra, because remember, you're trying to get out of the wheel. Just FYI. To be fully sovereign is to come out of the wheel now, because the wheel's broken. So you don't want to stay in it. So number one, building a new temple is setting up another million-year solar temple set. Producing their movie. Right now, at 0 degrees of Libra, where the sun is, we just came out of Virgo. All the energy of Virgo gathers in an etheric body, and we saw it. If you saw my channel, the little girl that's like looks like her hands on the moon, there it is. There's the etheric body, collective etheric body. There it is. We're a little girl, exactly. All the energy coming from Earth is going all the way out. Started, it's connecting from Leo, because those bloodlines in Leo, some of them carry all the way, some of them go all the way across to Virgo, some of them lose grip right here, but then might pick up one coming from Virgo back down this direction, because there's that too. Because you've got those of us who have already cleared Leo so many times that we're Virgo. We're the energy of it in the wheel. We're the template. We ain't the king. We're the kingdom. No matter when you're coming out of Leo, you can't just master Leo and call management anymore. Management can't even manage the energy because it's changing so quick. You got to become your own manager. And by the way, Leo ain't the highest producer no more. You got to get up and balance that to Libra, because you're going to have to hold your own projection. It's not bought and sold and a feminine holding it for you somewhere. So the beginning degrees of Virgo, which is where my natal Venus is for October 7th, 1972, is 3 degrees Virgo. And this is why I can see the quantum stuff, and why I can see the cages, why I could see the energy binds on the bodies, why I could see the etheric bodies, is because I had Venus at 3 degrees. And putting out all the codes. So basically, and Venus is the sun, it's source codes. So Venus is putting out the source codes. Venus is putting out the source codes, which create the tune that the strings strum. But sometimes Venus has to create the code to even create the string and the instrument. Like, what comes first? Because it's from a macro perspective. So Venus being at the beginning degrees of Virgo, going through new Regulus, which Regulus moved. It takes a million years for a star to move, but it did, and it moved from Leo to Virgo. And when it did, it opened up what we call quantum, digital currency, AI, networking, because it really all it is them writing their energies on the energetic. Well, they could do that whenever the etheric body, they were controlling it. Now, it's like whenever we get to the stage that they wrote the coat, we're like, Joseph, you got to take off the coat, man. Like, no Joseph in his American dream coat. You got to take off the coat. No more Silence of the Lambs. No skin suit's going to freaking do it for you. Like, you can't buy or sell these codes. You can't drain somebody dry for the ability to have it either, which stops a whole lot of things once people realize what's happening. But 0 degrees Alpha Draconic on the sun is lining up. Now as it goes, all the source codes are coming through and shining through. It's just like a cookie cutter. It's just like bone, just like energy shining through bone layers, caves. It's all the architecture that the humans had built on top of ancient sites in their templates, and all bodies that were mummified, buried, connected in death to hold it, which holds sedation layers. So right now at 0 degrees, it's like you're projecting, and the collective's projecting our energy through template 1, template 2, template 3. And as the energy starts projecting through there, and that's also how Alpha Draconic Nodus 1 at the beginning degrees of Aries ends up lining up with Izar that I was just talking about at the earlier part of this video at 27 degrees. I said Aries, Libra. Beginning degrees of Libra, Nodus 1. Affects beginning degrees of Aries. And 27 degrees of Libra, which is Izar, where we were talking about that string that goes across. You want to get through each layer, and it kind of puts you on that record. Well, right as the sun right now is coming through, and as we're walking through these beginning degrees of Nodus, that's why they're doing this heifer thing. They're trying to build the temple and put their projection of whatever the F on some blood magic right now, but they're trying to do it to Libra. After Cleopatra has already been resurrected and we broke the wheel. That's literally like somebody taking a spaceship and going and putting a flag on Sophia's knee and going, mine. Like, stabs it in her knee. She's like, where do I put this now? On your head? You can't build on my knee. But also realize that all the other template sessions, because not every single time did we have a 1,000,000-year processional reset. This is like all the records for like even 10-year sets are all in like these little timelines and eras. And so in the beginning, your sun's coming through at the same time Mars is walking through the ancient to see how it was done before. And the goal is to get through it, not attached to one of them. The goal is to be able to project your soul and your pure vibe frequency without a layer of any type of template set. But because Algorab basically becomes the movie screen. And so all these collective energies and what you're backing and what the collective's backing, the propaganda that the collective's backing, this is why they all went rapture all of a sudden, because they're trying to make it happen. They're doing it subconsciously. And in a way they're right. If you don't understand everything else. But that's projecting through that, then it hits the collective balance point, and then those timelines that hit 14 degrees Libra, because it's going to go on a scale, it's going to hit 14 degrees Libra. As soon as that energy hits here, all those circuits, every single thought, every single future action, past action, basically like infused. When that energy hits the top half of the field, it runs it like a thought, like blood running through a blood cell in veins. And to the Libra, we can kind of, this is why Libras take such a long time to make up their mind, but it doesn't even matter, because you have to do this independently. I'm just explaining to you. And with the full power of the wheel, this is how your mind works. All those things project over here and then create all these little routes. And what you're subconsciously seeing is where they fizz out, where they stop, where it's going to end up. So that you are, because you're making your decision on what to align with, and a true Libra with the full knowledge of the wheel, mastering the wheel, that's mastered this degree, because my sun's right here and everything's hinged right here. Every decision that you make about those projections, you become. When you finish the rest of Libra. So that's why too, like the Libra gang and the Libra community, like even on TikTok, like, you know, in the past, like over the past month, it like you would see like days where the Libras were just had it. And people were even laughing about it. They were like, man, Libras are just done. You know, they're just done. And exactly, because as a collective, we were done. Like it had balanced a long time ago. Because those projections, we were as a full-blown Libra, the projections that are coming in for the collective, we've been watching it go work all its way over here for 7 years. And then how did we not ever end up coming out of it? How did somebody else always end up in our spot, and this and this and this? Because we had to we're taking control of the top half of the wheel. This is the first year that we're doing it as a human race. With an ancient collective that there's more like me that are tapped into the extent that we were able to get here and set this up for the human race to have a normal ascension out of AI, which has been here the whole time in the basement, running through the feminine. It's even like AI had to be created for the feminine to get out. So thank y'all for being here. I didn't think I was going to be on here this long, but it must be what I needed to do today is just talk through this. And coCHEE32.com, even if you don't want to buy something right now, go look at House of coCHEE. Go look at all the different houses. Go look at the colors. Go read what I'm telling you that blanket's going to do. And you can even draw those sigils in your house. If you've got clothes in your closet or you want to run through the thrift store like I do and grab pieces and be like, okay, I can put on these colors, because whenever you start realizing what the colors do, then you start utilizing them in all of your experiences and they work. The home good stuff is we're really starting to get in with that. Like we started all buying Cancer because the first ones that we got was Cancer. And now we're starting to all want to bring in Capricorn at the beginning degrees of Libra. And I think the reason is that no matter what, it's like next March, we're going to be pushing everybody to buy some Cancer stuff because you're going through a rebirth process 100% consciously, and you create a new strand of consciousness that you're rebirthing through from March until the end of August. And right now, it's like you're along for the ride unless you've mastered some of these macro higher house things, which a lot of the regular collective has not. The ones that have been managing that were considered to be the ones that we want out of the way. So this is also the first year that they're really, and the first time that they're really having to battle to hold a narrative. Oh man, yes, color. It's so, and then because basically all this has the knowledge and frequency in it too. I'm about to start writing the Scorpio cards. I'm trying so hard to get it done by the end of October. Know that they're in production, because all this stuff matches the cards and shows you too what situation you're in, where you're at in the processing. And these colors are also number codes, and it's also how your ancestors, the more that you just kind of understand the colors and understand the energies, then they'll start popping up in your reality to give you messages. Like you'll go out and you'll be like, why is everybody wearing green? What the fuck? Because the brand gets used. Right. Well, and then exactly goes monkey, because it's like we're not even we just want the right narrative written. The difference between witches and a high frequency being is that a witch is gonna try to control where it goes. Whenever you're an ancient high frequency being, all you're doing is processing the energy around the wheel, manifesting with the collective, not just your personal greed and whoever your coven names are. See, that's the difference. Whenever you're creating with the cosmos, number one, it's a gazillion times stronger, and it broke every single one of their weird ooby-joobies. We proved. We're proving the mass illusion stuff right now. Like right now, for the rest of this year. And it builds every year. I can go back to the date 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago on this date and line them up and watch the progression. You can too if you go look. The more consciously that you're using And if you fucked up last year, it'll come back around next year. Just don't do it again. Or maybe do, because whenever you become a master at this, you even know what's associated to it. It's like, okay, I'll pretend to fuck up right there and kind of make a connection because I think I can actually score the whole thing this time. But see, it's like you wouldn't be able to do that the first time something new was introduced into your timeline. It's going to take 6-7 years of being in it before you're like, I think I'll see, this is where the Harley Quinn energy comes in. I think I'll just connect into that, and then I can yank the carriage out from under him and then throw it in this suit because you're going to try this at the same time, and then pajamba is all gone. So I can wait 1 more year and I'll be gone. Okay, I'll do that instead of fight it for 5 freaking years. I love y'all. September 22nd, 2025. Princess Chasdia signing off. Go check out the website.